Okay, let's unpack this. Today, we're diving deep into coffee. You know, that morning ritual for so many of us? Our mission here is to really distill the key stuff from some pretty comprehensive science, give you a shortcut to understanding coffee's health benefits. And it's way more than just the caffeine buzz.
Oh, absolutely. That's what's so interesting. When you dig in, coffee is this incredibly complex bioactive cocktail.
Yeah.
We're talking over 1,000 different compounds working together. It's not just about waking you up.
Right, and that's where it gets really interesting, I think. When we talk health, we need to separate, longevity, just total years lived from health span.
Exactly. Health span being those years you live in good health, right?
Yeah.
Without the chronic stuff dragging you down.
Precisely.
And if you look at places like the blue zones,
Yeah.
think Ikaria in Greece, Okinawa.
Yeah, famous for long, healthy lives.
They often drink coffee. But, and this is key, it's part of a whole lifestyle. Diet, community, activity. Coffee's in the mix, but it's not the only thing.
So it's part of a bigger picture. Okay, so how does this complex brew actually work inside us? There's this process called autophagy.
Yes, autophagy. It's like your cell's own recycling system, cleaning out the junk, the damaged parts.
Cellular housekeeping, basically.
Pretty much. And what's fascinating is how coffee influences this. Studies show it kicks off autophagy pretty quickly.
And that includes decaf, too, right? That surprised me.
It does. Even decaf, it works by nudging these key pathways inside cells, things called mTOR and AMPK. Think of them like master switches controlling whether cells build things up or, clean house.
Okay, so it's triggering this deep cleaning. But there's more, isn't there? Like antioxidants and anti-inflammatory effects?
Absolutely. Coffee is packed with antioxidants.
Yeah.
But it also does something else. It activates our body's own defense systems, like the NRF2 pathway, which sort of ramps up your internal antioxidant production.
Ah, so it helps the body help itself.
Exactly. And at the same time, it helps quiet down chronic inflammation, partly through this pathway called NSB. That's a big one involved in lots of inflammatory diseases. Oh, and it also activates these things called sirtuins, T1 and T3, sometimes called longevity genes. They mimic some effects you see with, like, calorie restriction.
Wow, okay. So there's a lot happening at the cellular level. What does this actually mean for people's health? What do the big studies show us?
Well, the evidence is pretty consistent across large studies. For heart health, moderate intake, maybe 3 to 5 cups a day, is linked to lower risk. And there was this really interesting finding. People who drank their coffee mainly between, say, 4 a.m. and noon, they had a 31% lower risk of cardiovascular death.
31%, that's significant. What about brain health? Things like Alzheimer's or Parkinson's?
Yes, similar positive links. Reduced risk for both. And again, decaf shows neuroprotective effects too. The important catch here, though, adding lots of sugar or artificial sweeteners seems to, cancel out those brain benefits.
That's a really crucial point, especially about the decaf and the sugar.
Definitely. Then there's metabolic health. Type 2 diabetes. Each extra cup per day is linked to about a 6% lower risk. And again, decaf plays a role there too.
Yeah.
And regarding cancer, remember coffee used to be on that possible carcinogen list?
I do, yeah.
Well, the WHO took it off in 2016. Now studies point towards protective effects, especially for liver and colorectal cancers. And caffeine itself seems specifically helpful against some skin cancers.
Okay, so the evidence seems pretty strong for moderate consumption. How can listeners, make the most of this in their daily coffee habit?
Good question. First, stick to that moderate range, like 3 to 5 cups. Second, and this is really important, try to go for filtered coffee.
Like drip or pour over?
Exactly. Filtering removes most of these compounds called cafestol and cowol. They're natural oils. But in unfiltered coffee, like French press or espresso, they can raise cholesterol levels for some people.
Ah, okay. Filtered is better for cholesterol. Got it.
Right. And remember that timing thing, mostly in the morning, ideally before noon. And maybe obvious, but go easy on the sugar, heavy cream, the stuff that adds lots of calories and saturated fat.
Don't cancel out the good stuff.
Pretty much.
And this all seems to circle back to what you said about the blue zones, right? It's not just about the coffee itself.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Coffee isn't some magic bullet you drink while ignoring everything else. The benefits really shine when it's part of an overall healthy pattern. Lots of plants in the diet, moving your body, good social ties, managing stress.
So after going through all this research, what's the one thing that really stands out to you about coffee and health span?
If we connect this to the bigger picture, it's just how sophisticated coffee really is as a beverage. It's not just fuel. When you drink it mindfully, filtered, not overloaded with junk, and as part of a generally healthy life, it seems to genuinely contribute to more healthy years. To your health stand. Makes you think differently about that morning cup, doesn't it?
It really does. Definitely gives us something to brew on. We hope this deep dive helps you appreciate your next cup maybe a little bit more, knowing what might be happening inside. Until next time, keep exploring.